Alright, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a fight review. So we're going to Denver, Colorado for Invicta FC 53. We're going to the co-main event in the bantamweight division. Olga Rubin coming in at 8-3, taking on Claire Guthrie coming in at 5-1. Pivotal fight for both of these ladies. Both have been doing very well in Invicta. I think Guthrie came in on like a 4-fight winning streak, and aside from a failed title bid, Rubin had been doing very well at bantamweight. So let's get into it. All right, first round, Guthrie caught a Rubin kick, tried to take the back, but settled for clinching. We got some knees from both. They both traded control of the clinch. Then there was a separation, and Guthrie ducked under a punch for a takedown, but it got stuffed, ate a knee from Rubin. Then a double leg takedown from Guthrie got stuffed by Rubin. Then there was an exchange of clinch punches and elbows on the cage before they both separated. Guthrie landed a decent high kick. Rubin landed a nice punch to the body, stuffed another takedown to clinch against the fence with more knees between the two of them. And then there was another break and a nice body kick by Guthrie. Rubin missed a kick and Guthrie landed a nice one too. Then Guthrie clinched. There was some good infighting by both. Then they separated again. Rubin stuffed another Guthrie takedown, and then there was some more clinch work to close. So not like a super eventful first round, but it was some good action, when they were working. Second round, an immediate Guthrie takedown attempt got stuffed by Rubin. Then Rubin almost got her down herself. Guthrie worked in the clinch some. Then both broke it off. Then Rubin again went into the clinch, but Guthrie managed to take control, started landing some punches and some knees. And I'll tell you what, Guthrie is real heavy in the clinch. She was really forcing her weight on Rubin. Then Rubin, though, did manage to push her like halfway across the cage, like from one wall to another. Rubin tried to take her back standing, but wasn't able to. Then Guthrie got control of the clinch back, started applying that heavy pressure again. And then Guthrie managed to drag Rubin down, almost like, I don't want to say arm dragged her, but like a little more like arm and half body dragged her down to straight to side control. Like Guthrie dragged her straight to her back, dragged Rubin straight down to her back. Guthrie got to side control. And this was where the weirdness started, okay? Rubin immediately put her feet against the cage to bring her legs around and up, wrapped them around Guthrie's head and her own arm, got the buggy choke in. Guthrie tried to adjust, and then, as she adjusted, she, immediately tapped. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and it was hard to tell. I was cage side, but at a weird angle. It was so hard to tell. But she made that adjustment, or tried to make that adjustment, and then immediately tapped. So your winner was Olga Rubin via buggy choke submission, 4 minutes, 23 seconds of the second round. And, I was in the venue for this one. I was cage side at the media table, and we're sitting there watching it. And it's actually near the cage door that's near the media table, but it was at a weird angle. So there was a lot of confusion as to what happened. At first we weren't even sure if there was a tap. And then we were wondering what did she tap to? Because from our angle it looked like an inverted triangle. But turns out they announced it as a buggy choke, and there was even still some doubt watching it. Yeah, it was definitely a buggy choke, which I honestly never thought I'd see a buggy choke actually work in MMA. I'm pretty sure I haven't before. Certainly not for the ladies. I've seen ladies try to do it before. I remember Emily King did it against, I want to say, I think it was Brogan Sanchez that she tried it on, and it didn't work. Might have been Helen Peralta. And I've seen it used other times. It's sort of like a meme submission. You'll see people try it, and then they'll just get beat up for it because it never works. It's I watched a video on it earlier today, where the guy describes the buggy choke as like a stupid submission or a dumb submission. I forget. Like, I'll link it because he explains it. I'll link it in the description. But he describes the buggy choke and shows how to do it. And it is a really weird looking submission. And you're like, how does this work? And most of the time in MMA, it doesn't. But Rubin latched it on and made it work for her. So hats off to her. For Guthrie, unfortunately, it snapped her 4-fight winning streak. And I had her winning definitely the second round. I think I had her winning the first round too. I can't quite remember, but I think I had her ahead basically in the fight right up until she tapped out. So that's unfortunate. Talking about Olga Rubin though, I don't know how she makes bantamweight. She's 5'9", very statuesque, and she's just big. Like, I mean, I got close enough to her to, congratulate her on the win. And she's not a small girl. Like, I mean, she's not like huge or anything, but she's not small. I mean, Guthrie, you look at Guthrie and she's like overall built like a little bit thicker than Rubin, but Rubin is taller and just like built. I mean, I don't know how she makes bantamweight. She used to fight at featherweight, and she always looks like drained. I mean, she looks absolutely drained at weigh-ins. I don't know how she does it, but she does. And it's working for her. Back to Claire Guthrie, she'll be back. She'll be back. She was on a 4-fight win streak before this, and she keeps getting better every fight, so she'll definitely be back. Rubin, I would say now, is 1 win away from the UFC call-up, if that. And I think Guthrie was before the loss, so I think if Guthrie can get a win or two in, a good win or two in, I don't think she's far away from the UFC call-up either. UFC needs bantamweights, and these two ladies can definitely fill in those roles. I want to take a minute, though, to talk about Great Britain Top Team. That's where Rubin trains out of now. It's run by Brad Pickett. And I got to speak to Brad for a moment because I said, hey, this is before Olga's fight. He was standing outside the curtain to the back room. And I walked over and said, hey, congrats on Claire Lopez's win, because Claire Lopez just got a big submission by another weird submission, knee bar submission at Ryzen the week before. And he's like, yeah, thanks, man. And then after this win, I was like, hey, man, you've like quietly built up a strong team of women fighters. And yeah, he's like, I don't know how it worked, but it's working out so far. They've got Claire Lopez, Olga Rubin, Chanel Dyer moved to 2-0 with 2 straight knockouts. Great Britain Top Team with Brad One Punch Pickett in charge has built up a quietly strong team of women fighters in the regional promotions. And I think it's only a matter of time till we see them in like a truly major promotion. So shout out to One Punch Brad Pickett and the ladies at Great Britain Top Team. Talk about things to work on real quick. For Olga Rubin, clinch control. She was getting outworked in the clinch and was largely giving up a lot of control time to Olga Rubin. So, got to work on getting those underhooks in and getting that all straightened out. For Claire Guthrie, she got 1 takedown and it was from the clinch, but like multiple like half-hearted shots. She's got to work on setting up those takedowns. Like, that's the biggest problem for me with a lot of the ladies in MMA is that they don't set up their takedowns. You set up your takedowns properly with strikes, they're going to work more often than what they are without it. For fights to make, for Guthrie, I'd like to see her fight Serena De Jesus. Both are coming off a loss after a nice winning streak. I think both had 4-fight winning streaks coming in before the loss. Both need to get back in the winning circle, and I just think it would be a fun matchup. For Olga Rubin, I'd like to see her get a title shot against Talita Bernardo. She fell short against Tanisha Tennant. I think Bernardo would be a different story. I think that'd be a good fight. And I think Rubin's earned that title shot. So let's see that one. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this one. Olga Rubin defeats Claire Guthrie by a buggy choke of all things. Let me know your thoughts on the fight in the comments down below. I'll link to the Invicta stream, which is still up. They haven't posted the separate fight yet, but I'll link to the fight. And let me know your thoughts on it. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to WMMA Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.